Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tara. I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. This month we are doing tons and tons of live streams, which I'm actually really enjoying. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's a lot less stress for me, and I feel like I get to hang out. There's a little more community. I get to share, I don't know, more with you guys that I don't usually get to do, so that I'm pretty excited about. Today, we are going to be going over how I make my digital stickers. So we're not going to do like a whole in-depth thing. I actually teach an entire course on my whole process that I developed and all of the little time-saving hacks, and I actually teach the entire program. So I use Affinity Designer. That is my personal favorite program for making stickers. It has, really saved me hours and hours, and I'm obsessed with using Affinity Designer on my iPad in order to make stickers. So that's what I'm going to be drawing in today. I'll walk you guys through what I'm doing as I do it, and you're more than welcome to draw with me. You can draw in this app, you can draw something else, you can just hang out, grab yourself a nice cup of tea, we can just, be buddies and chill and have fun making art together. Whatever you want to do, I'm happy you're here. I appreciate you more than you know. But I will also say that, I'm not going to do a full tutorial on this program itself. I'll explain what I'm doing as I go through, but if you do want a full tutorial, there are tons of videos on YouTube. There's ones on Skillshare, and like I said, I actually teach an entire course on this myself. So if you do want to learn Affinity Designer and along with it my entire process for making digital stickers, I will leave the link. Actually, it should already be in the description. If you want to, you can just hop over to my website. You can sign up for the course. No pressure either way, but just letting you know that does exist. Oh, Dr. Pepper. Excellent. I love that. Let me see if I can remember how I put this on the screen. Thank you so much for showing up. Instagram buddies. How do I do this? I swear I just am supposed to click it. Oh, there we go. There, I got it. Somebody remind me the next time you guys come for my live streams when I can't figure this out. I have to click the person's photo and then it will go on the screen. I'm still learning so much about live streaming, but Dr. Pepper's having a moment. I've always enjoyed Dr. Pepper, but I feel like it's trending. Everyone loves Dr. Pepper. My nephews and my nieces are obsessed with Dr. Pepper. They won't drink most other sodas, but they love Dr. Pepper. It's their favorite. Which I don't blame them. It's good stuff. I just have a Coca-Cola addiction, so I'm a little partial to Coca-Cola, but I do love Dr. Pepper. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And actually what I'm currently looking at, oh, hello, there it is. I was checking out some black lettering. So in case you guys don't know, my digital stickers, which you probably don't know unless you're on Patreon, now that I think about it. But my theme for February is a fairy tale storybook kind of vibe. So we're going with a little bit of a friendly medieval look. So I was trying to take in what black letter looks like to see if I'd be able to recreate this. But it might take me a little bit of time to actually sort it out. But yeah, I want to use this kind of font probably for the word February, or maybe to write once upon a time or some other cute stuff. But let's go ahead and jump right in. The very first thing that I ever do when I'm making my digital stickers is I come into Procreate, because as much as I love Affinity Designer, I still prefer to do all of my sketching and anything that's kind of writing based. I guess I'll do it all in Procreate because I just like the pencil capabilities. I just feel it's, when it comes to sketching, it's just so much smoother. But there is a pixel persona in Affinity Designer, and you can do sketching within there. I tend to have issues with it personally, It might not be like that for everyone's device, but I have a lot of trouble with it. So Procreate takes the cake. But basically, I come up with a list of ideas, and then I pop over to Patreon and I put up a poll, and I let my Patreon patrons decide. Usually I'll give them like 8 to 10 options every month, and they'll decide what their favorite idea is. So like I said, this time they voted on fairy tale storybook, and I really enjoy that. I think it's a great idea. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I say that like I didn't give them a list of ideas that I thought would be fun, but yeah, I think it's cute. It's perfect for February without it being like fully like Valentine's-y, but it'll give that vibe, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I was going for, things that could double as something for the month. But anyway, so they've decided on that. So now the next thing I do is I come in and I get myself a little sheet of paper going on Procreate, and I come up with I just like kind of like word vomit everything I can think of when I think of fairy tale storybook. So I'm not going to go through everything on this list, but you can see I've got like knights, horses, towers, castles, dragons, tiaras, crowns, like a goblet, a magic wand. I've got lots of things on here, and not everything ends up being sketched out, but I want to get, grease the wheels, get the wheels turning. I don't know. Phrases, words, things. You know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. And then what I'll do is sometimes if I feel like it's like an easy thing to just start jumping into Affinity Designer right away, I will. But otherwise, if there are things that I'm like feeling it might be a little more complex or harder to sketch, I will start sketching things out. So I do have I do have a sheet of sketches that I went ahead and kind of played around with, some really rough sketches. I'm a super rough sketcher. If you're a pretty sketcher, I'm so jealous of you, but I'm not. I am a super rough, loose sketcher. I let the shape find me as opposed to me finding the shape. Like, I have no idea. I've said this time and time again, I don't really feel like I'm a talented artist, but lots of people seem to really like my work, and I appreciate you all so very much. And people ask me, they're like, oh, how do you do that? You're so talented. And I'm like, girl, what? I never felt like my art was any good, and so it's an honor that anyone pays anything for me to create stuff at all, and I'm so appreciative. But I guess the overarching theme here is like, you are also an artist. Like, you can create things, you can make beautiful things. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. I wasn't like born an artist, and I think most things are learned anyway. So if you want to put in the time and you want to practice, you can do it. Okay. Once I've got my sketches in Procreate, I will export this page, and then I go ahead and I jump into Affinity Designer 2. I have so many documents here because I am a mess when it comes to digital organization. I was like a crazy OCD kid as a kid. Everything had to be perfect, and I was such a perfectionist. Now I'm like recovering and realizing I'm ADHD, and I found out this is like a common thing that people do most of their lives. So anyway, I've had that traditional trajectory. Now I'm like, I'm ADHD and I'm a mess, and that's okay. But digitally, I can't organize things. It like overwhelms my brain so much. Somebody needs to do my digital organization for me. But anyway, so what I'll do is I'll open up a previous document from the prior months. So I already opened one up from January, and I renamed it for February, so I can just go ahead and start doing this today. But basically, I reuse these first 2 pages. These are my functional pages. If you've ever purchased my stickers, you know that. The only thing that changes is my washi tape. So I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to delete everything except for the first one, because that's what I'm going to use to design, and then I will duplicate them later on as I actually customize them and make them. I hope that makes sense. And then I delete everything on this page because I don't need anything here. So we're just going to select everything, and we're going to delete this. So this is usually my starting point, and I typically do not know what colors. Oh no, am I echoing? This is supposed to be muted. Somehow that got unmuted. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, yeah, so let me know if the sound is better. Somehow my microphone got turned on my computer, so I had 2 speakers going at once. So hopefully it's better. But yeah, so here's what I'll do. I'll just start with like importing that image first. So I am going to come up here to the like hamburger menu, and I think it's called the document menu here, but I like to call it the hamburger menu. And I'm going to tap place and place from photos. And I have no idea. Oh, I've been taking lots of screenshots lately of conversations because people have been crazy online. Okay, so I'm going to select these 2 these 2 images that I exported from Procreate, and I'm just going to tap on the screen, and it's just going to place them here. And I'm going to bring this one like up here just so I can check that out. I'm going to come to my layers menu, and we are going to swipe to the left on that one, and I'm just going to lock it so that I don't have to worry about it like getting in the way anywhere. And I'm going to drag this one onto this artboard. This is where my sketching is going to take place. And what I typically do is I'll open up my layers menu again, and in the opacity area, I'll just drag this down just so it's not so obnoxious. And then I'm going to swipe to the left again, and I'm just going to lock this. So now I can draw on top of it, and I can kind of find my shapes. Okay, excellent. There's no echo. But yeah, I'll just find my shapes in here and just start working, start playing. So we're probably, honestly, not going to make it through all of the stickers today. I'm just going to put that out there. Usually it takes me, I don't know, I would say depending on the complexity of the stickers, I might spend like 3 to 4 hours just on the design part. Maybe sometimes more. Yeah, so we'll do what we can get through within like an hour. I'm not gonna stay on all night and do the whole process with you guys, but hopefully this will inspire you to, I don't know, create something, draw something, hang out. Okay, so the first thing I have is this, I don't even know what it's called. There should be a name for it. There probably is. Does anyone have any idea what you would call, like, it's like a dunce cap, except for it's not, because it's for princesses, and it's got the flowy little, like, cutie thing coming off of it. The little, like, mesh or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? I don't have words. I have no idea what it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is using the pencil tool. This is my preference, although actually for this particular hat, let's go ahead and use the triangle tool. And I'm just going to draw a triangle. That makes way more sense here. And what I'm going to do now is tap on the node tool here. And then there's this little triangle looking thing, and that's going to convert this to curves. And now I can tap in the center here, and I'm adding a node, and I'm just going to like smooth this out. And I'm going to drag it down like this. And then I'm going to just adjust these control arms here. If you've ever been afraid of working in vectors, I gotta say, Affinity Designer is a great place to start because it really makes it so simple. I mean, Adobe Fresco is probably even more simple, but I'm an Affinity Designer girly. I mean, I do use Fresco from time to time, but it's really great because if you have the Apple Pencil, it's way easier than using a mouse. Okay, so we've got the hat. So now I'm going to come in with the pencil tool because it's going to give me a little bit more freedom to make something that's like free-flowing. Words. I'm going to make a fool out of myself on like every live stream because I sound ridiculous. Okay, so normally in this case, I would have put like a fill on, or I don't know, also had the auto close button pressed, but I forgot. So I just repressed that, or pressed it now so I can use it and for future shapes. But we're just going to close this shape and mess with it now. So I'm just gonna adjust some of this, and let's go ahead and fill this. So I'll use this blue. I think that's really pretty. Of course, it's gonna need to be a bit transparent as well. So like it's a little mesh thing. So of course it can't be super opaque. So we're just going to drag the opacity down on that. And then another thing I'm going to do is basically I'm going to come into this shape. Actually, why don't I copy this shape? And with this layer selected, I am going to paste another one inside of it. And we will just change the color to this like pink. And I'm just going to drag it over. And then we're going to duplicate this and drag it over again. And change the color. And I think for the sake of maybe, I don't know, let's bring the opacity of all these back up just for a second. Okay. I'm going to adjust some of these curves now. So I've got like a general, it's following the same general wave, but let's go ahead and be a little more particular about it. A little more intentional. And I'm just going to adjust some of these control arms until I get a curve that I'm happy with. And like I want this to come more up to the tip there. I think that's a bit better. I'm going to adjust the pink one that's underneath. Again, I want that to come more closer to the tip there. I like this. Okay, I'm gonna put this comment up. Yeah, so I also, for the longest time, was definitely afraid of working in vectors. But I found so many shortcuts in this program that I just started like using it more frequently. And the more I used it, the more confident I felt. And it used to be that I would really only work in vectors if I drew something in Procreate and then I vectorized it and then brought it into a program like Affinity or into Illustrator. Because I do ultimately like having vector artwork. I know it's not necessary all the time, but I don't know. There's just something magnificent to me about being able to sketch something on my little tiny iPad and then know that if I needed to, I could put it on a billboard and it would be like perfectly crisp. I don't know why, but that just like is one of my favorite things. Hey, did that comment ever go up or did I already shut it off? I don't know. I need an assistant. I can't control the chat while also doing a live stream. I'm the worst. Okay, so actually what I want to do here is I'm thinking instead of having these shapes combined, that I'm actually going to like subtract. This is one of my favorite things about working in vectors is you can use what's called Boolean operations and you can add and subtract shapes together to make new shapes. And it's really fun. So what I'm going to do is drag both of these out. And I am just going to let's say what I might do just to be careful is I'm going to duplicate everything for now. I'm just going to drag them up together. Oops. Not into like a group, but just on their own. I'm going to turn them off and just hide them. We're going to work with the bottom three. But basically what I want to do is I'm going to take this one and tapping our move tool, I am just going to select this and have it be like where they intersect. And then I'm going to duplicate this blue one again because that's our base. That's really what we want. So the space where they intersect, that one can go back to being pink. Oops, I think I selected the wrong one. Did I? This one. Yeah, we're going to make this one pink. Am I crazy? I think I did the wrong layer. It's fine. We are going to take this one and this one. And let's find that shape. Okay. This shape, I think, is our green one. I realize I'm a mess right now. I just, you know, we just work through it. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate this one again, this blue one. I swear half the time I just play around until I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna turn off this one. All right. I want this one. I had a whole plan and I managed to mess this whole thing up. I think I did one of my layers out of order. Give me a second while I sort this out. I'm looking like a crazy person. Do you know what's funny though? I like to watch artists when they do their lives, and sometimes everyone's a little cluster, a bit of a mess. Everyone's a little bit of a mess sometimes. Okay, so what I want, I've got this pink one here. I probably should have divided, but let's go ahead and divide now. I'm gonna divide these ones. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, I'm gonna undo. I think I realized what I did. Oh my gosh, what a mess. I'm such a mess. Okay, let's take these three and let's just divide them. Okay, there's a lot of pieces here. We're gonna clean it up. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna get rid of that one. And I'm gonna get rid of that one. And we're gonna get rid of that one. Wow, that was so much easier. Why did I bother with what I did the first time? So what happens? Trial and error. This is the beauty of digital art. Okay. So now the beautiful thing is when I reduce the opacity on all of these, there's not any layering issues. So before when I reduced the opacity, I had my blue overlaid on my pink, so that made a different color. I made the green a different color, but I want these to actually be the color that I picked and not, you know, a blend of the two. So that's why I needed them all to be their own separate shapes rather than laying on top of each other like I had originally done. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I was such a mess figuring that out in the first place. I thought about dividing them and then I was like, no, I can do it this way. Always go with your first gut instinct. Okay, and I think what I am going to do is make this blue one orange because I want to use my 3 colors and then have the hat be a different color. And what I typically like to do is I'll group these together when I'm done, but for a lot of the shapes, I'll duplicate them and do them however many times, like however many colors I have in my color palette, and do a variety of shapes. So I won't do it for all of them, but like this hat, I'll probably have 4 times. I even wrote like a little ×4 next to this, but I'll do it in all of the different colors. So that's what I'm gonna do. But first, let's put some cute hearts on this. So because this is February and it's Valentine's and it's like a storybook, fairy tale, little love situation, we are going to make some cute shapes. So you can use the heart tool that's in here if you want, or you can just make your own hearts. I like the more organic look of making your own hearts, but I am going to adjust that because that was a little bit sharp. And I'm putting 2 fingers down. I know you can't tell, but I'm just putting 2 fingers down here, and it's allowing me to duplicate. So when I drag and put 2 fingers down, it just makes an extra one, which is a really nice time saver. And I'm just kind of adjusting the size of these and rotating them a little bit to make it cute. Okay, and then we are going to change some of these colors. So we'll do some in pink, some in green. Maybe I'll keep this one in pink, do this one in green, and this one in green. Okay, so I need to put these inside of that shape. So I'm going to come to my layers menu and I'm going to select these hearts and drag them inside of the hat. And one thing I would think I want to do for all of these is make the hearts glittery. So the way I'm going to do that is I will come to the color studio here and I'm just going to increase the noise, and it's going to give this sort of like glitter effect. So there, we've got some cute little glitter hearts here. And I also want to move the tail of this behind the hat, I think, instead of having it flow in front. And then I'm just going to select all of these and create a group. So now these will all be one sticker. If you don't group them, then they will export later on down the road all as separate images. So we don't want to do that. So I've got one, and I'm just going to duplicate it by holding 2 fingers down, and actually 3 if I want them to stay like perfectly in line. And I'm going to hit duplicate. It's going to basically remember that same motion, and it's going to do it again. Again, time-saving hacks. I love this. So nice. And then we're just going to come in here and change some of these colors. So I'm going to change this blue to pink. And then I'm going to select all of the pink in here. So I'm just like double tapping to get into these. And we're just going to change these to blue. And we're going to change this one to blue. And then we're going to come over here and we'll change this one to green. Grab our green hearts and change those to blue. And we'll change the green little ribbon to blue. And we're going to come in here and change this one to orange. Grab our orange hearts and change these to blue. And then grab the little orange ribbon and change that to blue. And now I've got my first little bit of stickers done. So that's exciting. I've got my little hat. The next thing we can work on is maybe the tiara, I guess. Sure, why not? So I do want I want some hearts. So I can create a new heart, or I can use the ones that are up here and just copy and paste them. I think I might create a new heart. So I'm just drawing this out. And you can't really see when I do it that way. It's because I don't have any like fill or anything selected, or stroke color. You can absolutely add a stroke color if you want. But I feel like I can draw a shape and then go in later, and once it's filled, I can start to adjust it. So it doesn't bother me that much, like drawing sort of blindly, especially when I have a sketch underneath. But if that bothers you, you can, of course, add a stroke for the doodle portion. And I'm just adjusting some of these nodes until I am happy with the look. And then we are going to draw like this. And you just have to bring it close in order to get it to auto close. I don't know if you could see that. I'll show it right now. But you see that red circle on the screen? And if I come close to it, that's how you get it to auto close. Because otherwise, if I'm not close, it won't close the shape on its own. That is a more recent development in the last year or so. Not my favorite. I used to love the way it would just automatically close, but it doesn't do that anymore. So if you really want this to be symmetrical, which I totally get if you do, what I would recommend doing in this case is deleting all of these, duplicating this half, and then we can come to our Transform Studio and then flip this. However, I'm pressing it, it's not working. That's because I'm in the node tool, so I have to go to the move tool, and now I can flip it. And we're just gonna drag it over, and then we can add these two shapes together. In fact, we can even add this heart on here once we're satisfied. So I am actually going to duplicate the heart shape before I add them together. So let's add these two, and I'm going to drag it underneath this heart. Let's change this color to orange because that feels more like a tiara color, and I'm going to make this smaller and just adjust some of the nodes. Because we're going to make this sort of like a gem that sits inside of our tiara. I try to come up with elements that I can like carry throughout my my design so that I've got a bit of a theme, if you will. So of course I'm going to use a lot of hearts and then roses in this particular design. And I think also some little like sparkly stars, because I think it'll give that sort of magic vibe to it. So the next thing I want to do, I think, is draw like a little shiny thing here. Let's do, I'm going to come to my global colors, and this is going to be in like a light version of that blue. Actually, I think I made a mistake. I've been using my recent colors this whole time. Rookie mistake. I use global colors every time that I make my stickers because this is how this is a little secret that I teach in my course, but I use my global colors in order to shorten the process of recoloring them, because every month I release one sticker set in 3 different color palettes. And so instead of having to manually go and recolor everything, I can use global colors. So I'll just duplicate the file and use my global colors to change to a new color palette. And then I'll do that again a 3rd time, and then I have all 3 of my color palettes, and it's magical. But if I use recent colors or create colors on my own instead of using the global color palette that I've created, then I lose that luxury. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this heart, and we are going to select same fill color, so that anything that is that color, I'm going to tap the blue in my global colors. And then I'm going to do the same for the orange. So select same fill color. It's going to select everything that's that color, and I'm going to tap on the orange from the global colors. You're not going to visibly see anything change, but it's just going to guarantee that me later on down the road, when I decide that I want to make my next color palette, that I don't have to manually color each of these stickers. It's a lifesaver, I swear. One of the best things ever. All right, let's try it with the pink. So we're going to select same fill color and change it to the global pink. And then one last one, the green. Select same fill color and change it to that green. Okay. Now I feel so much better. Now I don't have to worry. Okay. It's best if you can catch those mistakes early on. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the opacity here just so I can see underneath, because I did kind of have a little bit of a sketchy idea of what I wanted to do here, but it's not set in stone. I can kind of do whatever I want. So I think what I might do is I'm going to select both of these, the little highlight as well as the heart, and I'm going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to scale it down, and I'm going to put one here. I think we're going to make it. Why is my nose running? Oh, we don't want that. I'm going to duplicate it and then make another smaller one to go here and drag that so it's straight. And then we're going to do another one up here and drag these here. Okay, we're going to recolor these. But in the meantime, let's also add some other elements. So we're just going to do some circles. Or should we do diamonds? Circles or diamonds? I'll let you guys vote. The first comment I see in, should I do circles or diamonds for the other gems? There's always a little bit of a delay too, but if you have a preference, otherwise I'm just gonna go for it. I want to include you guys a little bit though. Okay, diamonds it is. I think diamond is a good idea. So we're gonna put, oh, a diamond here. This one has my glitter fill. Oh great, we've got multiple diamonds. Good choice, good choice. Okay, so we're gonna have, whoops, a diamond there and a diamond here. And I'm gonna change the color. I actually didn't want to make them glittery, but maybe I will change my mind on that. No, we're gonna go no glitter, I think. So I'm gonna come back over here and bring the noise down so that there's no more glitter. And I think I'm gonna just do a line here. And we're gonna come to the stroke and change it to the light pink. And then I'm gonna adjust the pressure. So we're gonna reduce the line thickness basically at the end there and keep the one at the top more thick. I like to have a little bit of variation there. And then I'm going to expand this stroke so now it's just a fill. It's just something I prefer to do. Oh no, how did I miss that? Somehow that got to be kind of wonky. I don't like that. We're gonna smooth that out. That was bad. Let's make it a smart curve, smart node. Wow. And I'm just gonna smooth that. We'll do the same on the other side. So I'm gonna delete this extra little node. I don't like it. Gonna make that one a smooth node. Oh, I didn't do a smart one. That was probably the problem. Whatever. Just kind of go with it. Press the wrong button. All right. Now let's change some of the colors. So this one needs to be, I guess, that one can stay blue. We're going to make this one green. If I'm on the fill and not the stroke. And maybe I will change these colors a little bit. Now let's make this green. Let's make the heart, this heart pink. Now let's make the big heart pink. I just like to try to make sure I have a little bit of balance in my designs, so I try not to have the colors be too, I don't know, close together or repetitive, you know, just space them out a little. So basically in my color palette here, my global color palette, I have a light version of every color, I have a dark version of every color, and then I also have like a shadow in here, which is unnecessary. And then I still have my 3 different chocolate colors in here from when I did February last year and I did like sweets. So I never ever use those, but I keep them there in case I end up doing something in one of my sticker sets where I need an additional color. And then I could rename it in that circumstance, or I could just leave it. It doesn't really matter all that much, but I've kind of just kept it there and I ignore it most of the year. And if it does come in handy, then it's already there. But basically I use the same color palette like on every single document, and I just go in and change the color based on what we decide on Patreon. So after I let my Patreon patrons decide my stickers for the month, the theme, then I'll go in like a week later and let them decide the colors. And so we'll pick the top 3 color palettes, and those get to be our winners. Okay, I need to bring the opacity of this crown back up, but should we do some glitter for the crown? Like, should the whole crown be glittery? What do we think? I kind of like it. There needs to be a little more contrast though, where these are all kind of set in place, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag, so all of these are under those highlights. I could group each of them together, but it's not fully necessary. What I am gonna do is duplicate all of these, and I'm gonna drag them all underneath. And then I'm going to add a stroke color to them. And it's gonna be a dark version of the orange. And we're going to just add some stroke width to them. Just not showing up. Do I have my, that's why. I had them so the outline was going inside the shape, and we don't want that. So let's just do that. And let's see, how does that look? That definitely helps it stand out a bit better, having that outline. I think I like that. Okay, just checking the time. My ring light is in front of my time. So, okay, we've been going for about 40 minutes. We'll do a little bit longer, probably like another 15, 20 minutes, however long you guys want to hang out with me. And then I'll probably spend the rest of the night working on this and then get up and go do other work tomorrow. But I try to have these done sometime between like the 25th and the 27th each month. I'll be honest, that rarely happens, but I'm actually on top of things this month. So I'm like excited to, I don't know, to keep going with being on schedule. I think a big part of it, honestly, is the fact that I've been doing these live streams instead of having to like schedule recordings and, I don't know, scheduling recordings and then uploading things and getting things edited. It's always such a pain. These live streams have been, honestly, like a major relief. So, like I said, they're fun. I enjoy doing them. Okay, so we've got one tiara done, and it is grouped together, so it will be one sticker. Let's go ahead and do this crown. And you could use the pen tool for this. The pen tool might be kind of fun. I don't use the pen tool often, I'll be perfectly honest. I much prefer to use the pencil tool. I feel like it gives me that nice like organic look that I'm going for. But I feel like it could work for this crown. Okay. What I'm gonna do now, the pen tool is something I would say if you are afraid of vectors, the pen tool is probably the reason why. I really do not like using the pen tool, but the more that I've used the pencil tool and then learned to like play around with the control arms, the more that using something like the pen tool has made more sense to me now. Like I never would have thought I could have even done what I just did if it wasn't for all the years I spent using the pencil tool. I think it's kind of a game changer. Like learning how to control the nodes and the control arms by using something like the pencil tool and just going in and make minor adjustments, you become way more confident in your ability to edit vectors. And I just highly recommend giving it a shot. I think it's a great way to open up your world a little bit. Okay. That's cute. I'm going to reduce the opacity for now and just kind of look at my little design that I had underneath. I definitely want to keep some consistency with the hearts, so I'm going to come in here and select these two. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it inside of this shape. And I want it like front and center here, maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, and now with our pencil tool, we're just going to draw this cute little squiggle. And I am going to add a stroke here. So I'm just gonna do it in blue for now. And I'm going to increase the stroke width a bit there. I think that's cute. And I'm going to duplicate this, grab our move tool in our transform studio, and we're just gonna flip it and drag it over. Kind of looks a little bit like a mustache, but let's not talk about that. A whole new world. Just gonna break out into song. Okay. Now I'm just making some minor adjustments. I hardly moved that. Okay, so now that I like our little mustache, I'm going to expand the stroke, and that's pretty good. I'm gonna use that same stroke width, and I'm just going to draw some little squiggly doos here. And I can't unsee the mustache. Why did I say that? Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible. Okay, let's use the diamonds from before. Whoops. I'm gonna use my move tool here. And we are going to copy this, and let's come over here and we are going to paste it. Oh no, I feel like I need to blow my nose. I originally had circles in mind for this part. That feels weird. I think these have to be circles. I think I changed my mind. Again, the beauty of digital art, you'll hear me say this over and over again, is that basically I can do whatever I want. And if I make a mistake, it's okay. I just fix it and move on. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that. We are going to make this fill color that orange, and then we are going to duplicate that shape, and oh, I said duplicate. That was weird. And we are going to size this a little bit smaller and change the color. And then I'm going to draw a little highlight. Let's make sure that the highlight is in our stroke. It's gonna have to come down in size a little bit. That's way too big. That'll do, I think. Maybe a little bigger. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. And then I can take both or all three of these shapes. Actually, let me get rid of that one. I don't want that there. We're gonna take all three of these and drag them over here and over here. Yay! And let's draw. I'm gonna expand the stroke here. I got into the habit of doing this because I didn't know, and even when I created my entire online course, I had no idea this is a fun little fact about Affinity Designer. I'll show you guys right now, and then I'll get back to the video. So let's draw a shape right now without a stroke. We're just gonna draw this pink square, okay? And now let's add in a dark stroke around it. And just for the sake of, I don't know, making things look better, let's make this the same width. And I feel like an idiot because I made my entire course and I didn't know about this. But you're going to take the move tool and you are going to resize this. And the obnoxious thing is, hey, why is it not doing it? Oh, no. So this is what I always thought would happen. You size it down and the stroke stays the same width. And I, for years, like years of working in Affinity Designer, did not know this. So frustrating, and I would get so mad. So what I would do every single time I created something with a stroke is I would automatically just go up and expand the stroke so that it was a shape and everything would size proportionately when you would scale it. You don't have to do that. There's this handy little setting over here on the right that says scale with object, and you can just toggle this switch, and if it's on, then the stroke scales with the object instead of it staying the same width. So right now this stroke is 21.4 points. That's the width. So if I size this down, the stroke remains 21.4 widths or points. But if I turn on scale with object, then it just scales proportionately. Years. I'm telling you, years. I spent years. So, you don't have to do that anymore. Now you know. What took me years to figure out. It was such a frustrating revelation. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to come into this heart, and I'm going to do what I did before, where I have that dark brown stroke around it. And needs to be on the outside. Dark brown, dark orange, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to bring the opacity of this back up. And also, I guess these need to have a very tiny stroke. We want them to be consistent. Yeah, that'll do. That's good. Okay. And then I have to decide. I don't know if I want... I think maybe we'll make... Okay, all these need to be... They either need to all be strokes or they all need to be shapes for what I'm about to do. So let's expand these strokes here. And then add these ones to them so they're all selected. And I'm going to change this fill color to a dark version of the crown. I feel like that makes the most sense. And then let's bring our noise up, our glitter. So I want it to match this one for consistency reasons. So let's see what this is at. It's at 60. So let's bring this one and all of my little circles. So I think I'll have an easier time doing it from the layer menu. And we're going to bring the noise up to 60. There we go. Okay, cute. Now I just need to select all of this. Oh, wait, let's make this green on the inside, because this one doesn't have any other colors. Yay! Okay, now we'll group this together. And I'll size it down a little bit. I got more crowns I want to do, but that's what I got for now. All right. I'm telling you guys, it usually takes me hours to do these. What do I want to do next? I don't know. I wanted to do something fun. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. They're all fun. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so I'm gonna follow this shape that I made for the cute little bow, and then I am going to come to my stroke studio here, and what I want to do is bring the pressure back to like normal. I lied. We're gonna put a center node there, but then we're gonna bring these ones down. So what I want is for the line to be thicker in the middle, so you'll be able to see that more as I expand this. And I feel like that's gonna give it more of that like bow and arrow look, because it's got the tapered edge here. And we're just gonna fix this curve because it's not so pretty. I kind of like that the bottom one's a little more curved than the top one. Anyone else? I can't figure out quite what angle I want this one at. There's something off about it. Let me delete this node. Yeah, and then we'll just adjust this and adjust this. Ah, that's better. Yeah, that extra node was just kind of throwing things off. And I think I'm gonna move this back a little bit. I think that'll do. And then we're gonna draw that. That's obviously gotta change. So I'm gonna tap on this. Let's reset the pressure and bring our stroke width down. And I'm gonna make this stroke probably just one of like the gray colors that I have. I think that's fine. I try not to introduce too many colors into my color palettes when I make my stickers because it helps with consistency. And if you've ever watched my Plan With Me videos, I really like having like an aesthetic. And so if I can make everything match, even with like my functional stickers, like all of these, it really, I don't know, I like when everything coordinates, and I don't know, it's easier to do when I'm not introducing too many colors. I think having a limited color palette is severely underrated by like new artists. I think a lot of artists understand how helpful it is to have a limited color palette and how much more pleasing it is to the eye. It wasn't my idea, like this isn't my concept, it's something I've learned from others, but I think that's not something I would have known if I hadn't watched a ton of other artists and learned online from other people. So I think having a limited color palette is very wise advice. So I try to stick with, for these particular projects, I stick with 4 colors, and then I will do a lighter version and a darker version. So I know I said that for those of you who have been here the whole time, but yeah, that's why. And then there are occasionally like some like whites or like a black, which is usually some kind of gray. In the case of my penguins last month, it was like a black color, which is fine. But yeah, usually it's like a white or a cream, something that's like an off-white color, and then like an off-black color, if you will. So I try, like I said, try not to introduce too many other colors. Okay. Another way, instead of doing like a line, we could do like a little rectangle here. And I'm going to use let's come back to our fill. I'm going to use like a light orange for this. And all of these colors will change. So this is not the color palette that I'm ultimately going to be going with, just so you know. I am going to copy, I think, this heart. And I'm just going to come over here. We're going to paste that, and then I have to rotate it, of course, so it looks like an arrow. And let's make this a little longer. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our little heart arrow. We're given some like Cupid vibes here. I'm gonna make this, I think, a little longer. And then let's take, I think it's the trapezoid tool that's going to be helpful here. I could be wrong, but I'm going to draw this shape. Yeah, nope. Maybe it. So the one thing I will say about Affinity Designer is I've tried to go to the forums, but there doesn't really seem to be a way to take, let's say like a rectangle, for example, and give it like a slant to distort it in that way. And I feel like I've tried like so many times. So what I'm going to do is just this little workaround where I converted the shape to curves. I selected the top 2 nodes, that's why they're in blue, and I'm just going to drag them down like this. And now it's giving me that shape. And so now I can select these 2 and I can decide like how big do I want that part of the arrow to be. And if you want to take it a step further and you want to make it look kind of feathery, I think I'm going to regret this. I think I already don't like this idea, but you can kind of do what we did before. I'm just drawing these sort of like shapes here. It looks super crazy, but bear with me. I don't think I want this, but just so you know, if you wanted to customize the shape a little bit, you could just subtract that front shape from the bottom shape, and now you've got something that has a little more like texture or feathered design if you want to spend more time on it. I actually don't hate that as much as I thought I was going to. Maybe we'll work with this. Maybe. Possibly? I don't know. I reserve the right to change my mind on any and all things. Okay. Just playing with the nodes here. Kind of, I think this is working a little better. Don't mind this actually. I'm going to add another node here. Bring this one down. Bring this down. And let's, yeah, okay. I mean, it could be worse, you know? Let's make that a little more equal. I don't know. I don't hate it. It probably could be a little bit neater, like here. That wasn't a great curve, but yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so now I'm going to select this with my move tool. Sorry. I'm going to duplicate this, and we are going to reflect it this way, and then drag it down, and it's going to kind of snap into place, so that's nice. And these feel a little too big to me, so I'm going to select them both. We're just going to scale them down together, and there. Okay, that looks better to me. I'm much happier with that. Okay, and then we are going to group these. So now that's one cute little sticker. And what time are we looking at? Okay, it's an hour and 4 minutes. I'm surprised. I'm so happy so many of you guys are still hanging out. Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate you all. But yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this. I don't know how much longer to hang out, so probably, I mean, I could stay here all night, but that feels really silly for a live stream. I don't know. I'm new to this world. But yeah, so I'll give you guys like a quick rundown of what I'm gonna keep working on the rest of tonight, and then I'll let you guys go, and I appreciate you being here. But I'm just gonna keep up this process that I've been doing, where I've been looking at my sketches and then just drawing. And I typically don't like go in an exact order of what's on my sketch. I don't know if this is a me thing, if this is normal for artists, but like if there's a shape that I don't feel like drawing, then I put it off. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. Maybe it's a procrastination thing. I don't know. But I also feel like if you're creating art, like you want to have your heart in it, you know? And so if you're dreading drawing something, then like maybe it's just not for now. Like maybe it's something you can come back to later when you're feeling a little bit better about it. So sometimes I will skip around on here and just do whatever shape seems to be calling me next. Again, I just let the art speak to me. I let the whole project tell me what to do, and I just kind of follow whatever instincts come with that. So I'll go through here, and basically what I'm looking at for this particular design, because it's fairy tale storybook, is I've got another crown I want to do here. I've got a couple different versions of books. So I want like a stack of books. I want an open book, maybe with, I'm going to try with some kind of like magic sparkly things kind of flowing out of it, because I think that would be cute. I just want like a general open book laying flat on a table. I want one that is flat and like face up so that you can see it, that says something like Once Upon a Time with a cute little picture. I'm going to draw like a love potion and some enchanted roses. I think those will be nice. I also want to draw like a bouquet and a cute goblet that kind of matches the crowns. A few candles. This is sort of like between the rose and the candles. These are little nods, and the books. They're kind of like little nods to Beauty and the Beast. Unintentionally, it just kind of came out and I realized, oh yeah. But I suppose when you're doing like fairy tale storybook, you're going to draw inspiration from those things in your life that you've, you know, witnessed your whole life. So we also have like a mirror here, which I feel like, yeah, I don't know, makes sense. It's got some hearts, little heart designs. I don't know if this is going to work out well, but what I really want to do is create a what are they called? One of those like ink stamp or wax seals, a wax seal that says like happily ever after. I think that would be really cute. That one I'm really excited to try, so I hope I can make it look good. I've got like a little like message in a bottle or kind of like love letter thing. A little Valentine like envelope. I want to do like a scroll, because I think like that makes sense, you know. I mentioned this before. I want to do like some black letter text, which I had pulled up here. I think I'll be able to pull some inspiration from general black letter designs. And what I ultimately want to do is basically create the strokes, because I don't want to create a whole font, and I also don't want to sit here and hand letter all of these pieces. So I'm going to end up drawing like a rectangle like this, and this little like swoop here. Basically, this is what I had in mind. I'm going to take all of the little elements that make up a font. I'm going to make those shapes in Affinity Designer, and then I'm going to piece them all together in order to create those letters. And that's my plan, to get around making a font, you know, just to make the letters and duplicate them all as I need them. It's my little workaround. And then, I don't know, I just want some like floral elements. So we'll do like a few more roses, or maybe like a rosy like vine. I think that would be really cool. I'm going to do a castle, some lanterns. I think lanterns would be cute. I have a little tree here. I don't know if that's going to actually happen. I also have like a little windowsill with a view with some like floating lanterns or something. I guess that's maybe like a little Rapunzel kind of nod. Yeah, a tower, of course, that's pretty traditional. I was in Belgium last year, and I went to Ghent, which is this like perfectly gorgeous, beautiful medieval town. I'm obsessed with it. I've been like 6 times. I keep going back because I just love it so much. But inside of one of the castles, I was recognizing they've got all of these like banners. And so I want to have some banners. They tell stories. So I thought I might do like a little bit of scenery in there. I thought that could be really cute. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what I plan to do. I don't know, I had like a little like floating globe or like an orb or a snow globe or something that has like a prince or princess in it. I don't know. King and queen. I may or may not do that. And then the thing I'm really excited for, but it's also going to be a challenge for me, is going to be creating dragons. So I feel like I'm terrible at drawing animals, but you guys have really been pushing me to do more of that. So yeah, I feel like I'm bad at bringing life to my art. I don't know. It's definitely a challenge for me. Actually, for the last couple years that I've been drawing these stickers, every time, actually, I guess it's only been like a year and a half that I've really, is that right? Is it 2.5 years maybe? Doesn't matter. But I've, like, the amount of things that I've drawn in here in Affinity Designer that I never would have thought I'd be able to do, especially because I much preferred drawing and Procreate for the longest time, which I still do actually, especially if I'm doing something that I don't know if I know how to draw. But I don't know, like this whole thing, making all of my stickers in Affinity Designer and having you guys vote on things every single month has been a real growth opportunity for me. And so I'm so appreciative of always having this chance to like expand what I'm doing and expand my skills. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. But that being said, the whole reason I brought all that up is I have to draw dragons. I'm going to try to draw a bunch of cute dragons. I want them doing things like giving valentines or giving flowers or blowing like heart-shaped smoke out of their nose or something. It's going to be interesting because I don't know how well I'm going to be able to make cute dragons, but we're going to try. I'm going to try. Yes, I agree. Rapunzel, Tangled is great. Chinchillas, you have chinchillas? I love chinchillas. I'm going to put that on the screen. Chinchillas are so cute. One of my friends had chinchillas when I was in high school. Absolutely adorable. And naming them Flynn and Ryder is adorable. Okay, I think that's everything. I think I'm done babbling for now. Oh, I might add a shooting star or some bubbles or some other little, like, I like to also include little elements like little hearts or stars or something so that you can kind of fill in any empty space in your planner. I like to just have those little bits. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to be working on. Thank you guys for joining me and seeing a little insight into my process. If you guys like this, I can do this every month when I design my stickers. In theory, I could do this every month. You know, just like one hour a month where I live stream as I start to design my stickers. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what the audience thinks, but yeah. That's it. So I'm gonna go finish my tea, which is now cold, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. Happy to share always. Love you guys, and especially a special thanks to my Patreon patrons. They deserve an extra special thanks. So I'm gonna put that on the screen, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.